Yes, guys, and welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for another pre-match pub up. And I know it says West Ham. That is an error. It is actually Chelsea, but it doesn't really matter. They're both London rivals, and we want to smash both of them. One down, one more to go. Big game today for me. I think it's a make or break sort of game. You know, you beat Chelsea. I think top four is probably nailed on. I think if we lose, it's definitely going to make it a bit more tougher for us. But as you can see today, we are joined by quite a delectable panel here. We've got Sean from Spurs Talk Show. Shawnee, how are you, my man? And look, I didn't want to ruin your saying on my show. I thought no better man to get it coming directly from the horse's mouth, so to speak, Shawnee. So, What day is it?
I'm good, man. It's game day!
Come on, Tottenham.
Let's go!
Come on.
Love it. I miss hearing that on game day. You know, I really miss hearing that. It gets me. It wakes me up first of all, but also gets me up for it as well. Absolutely love it.
Just wait. Now you're going to see 5 comments come through saying my eardrums are. You've got to put a warning out before you do that because people that wear earphones don't enjoy it too much. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
I love it. Love it. Amir, how are you keeping, sir?
I'm doing very well, David. Doing very well. Wishing everyone, a happy Sunday, happy London Derby day, and just really pumped up for this one. I can't stand Chelsea. I don't want to get too much into it, how much I despise them, but honestly, there is nothing more in the world than I would love for us to turn them over this afternoon.
Yeah. I want to absolutely pump them. Plus, Potter thought he was too good for the Tottenham job, so it'd be nice to stick it to him. Big up, Nick.
Stick it to him. Get him the sack. Get him the sack.
Yeah, El Sakacore times his second coming today, so it is. Lazy 8 says, yes, Sean, he needed that yell out to wake the neighbours up. Absolutely love that, Nick.
Yeah, Nick.
In the building. Ashmatic, how are you?
Yes, Rob. Yeah, man, I'm blessed. I'm here. I'm loving it. Energy. I'm pumped. It's the best time to play Chelsea. Yeah, they're so inconsistent. They're toothless up front. Good defense, though. But apart from that, I'm ready for them, man. Potter has got them playing so inconsistent. So I'm really up for today, man. Really up for today.
Like you alluded to, very, very good defense. I think they're, third or fourth in the league with in terms of fewest goals conceded. But, they do have scoring problems up front. Mike Prince says, who's in the studio today, lads? Any of you know?
Daigle, I believe, and
Marlon.
Yeah.
And also they've got a Chelsea fan up there as well.
Yeah. I just want to quickly say I'm not impressed. I am impressed with Marlon, but I'm also very unimpressed with him. He played an absolute blinder on the We Are Tottenham TV £10 in the Fantasy Premier League thing. He used his wild card to absolute perfection this weekend, and the rest of us were left with like 7 players from Newcastle or Man United in the team, and so we've got Soddle points, and he's got them like absolutely smashed it. So I'm very upset with him. But congratulations, Marlon, very smart man.
Big up Marlon, big up Daigle. Hopefully, you get to rub the victory in with that Chelsea fan today. That would be joining you. That would be absolutely unbelievable. So there you are, Mike. It's Daigle and Marlon, a good duo in the studio today. Shawnee, let's kick it off with you, my man. I mean, a lot of fans are sort of quietly confident coming into this one. Would you match that sort of quiet confidence, or are you of where I'm at? It's Chelsea. Anything can happen today.
Yeah, man. Like, you and I were on that Never a Foul preview on, I think it was Thursday or Friday. Yeah. Two Chelsea fans, us two sitting there. I've never been on a preview show with rival fans before where neither set of fans wanted to stake a claim with any level of chest around what the outcome was going to be. We were sitting there saying, look, you're in bad form, but at the end of the day, it's Chelsea. And they're sitting there saying, yeah, look, it's Tottenham, but we are so bad.
Yeah.
So, listen, I don't have that confidence. I think it's going to be an interesting game from Tottenham's perspective, which is the only one you can really think about. Look, put aside the hoodoo, the voodoo. This particular Tottenham team has never lost to Chelsea, and that particular Chelsea team has never beaten Tottenham. So, if you were just able to kind of take away the names, take away the any of that kind of black magic stuff, then it shouldn't be. It should be interesting. It should be a really interesting game for me. I know we're going to talk about it, but the difference for me, from Tottenham's perspective, is going to come down to the individuals. It's going to come down to whether or not there's a sloppy mistake from one of our defenders. I'm hearing weird rumours that Foster might be out injured because the odds in the last couple of hours of Chelsea to win have shot up dramatically. And there's a few rumours and whispers going around that maybe Foster's injured, so Alfie Whiteman or Brandon Austin might be in goal. Don't know if that's true, unconfirmed, but it is true that the odds of Chelsea winning have just jumped, have just shortened rather dramatically. Anyway, off the point, if our defenders keep it tight and if our forward line can find some chemistry and rhythm, then I think we've got a puncher's chance in this one, like we always do against anybody.
Well, look, lineups are out in 12 minutes' time, so we'll learn then if Fraser does. Interesting enough, though, I know young Josh Keeley, the young Irish guy that they signed from St. Pat's who plays for the under-21s, he was training with the senior team this week. So, I wouldn't be surprised to maybe even see his name thrown out there or even make the bench today. We'll wait and see. Interesting enough. I hope that's not true. Maximum Feeling says, shout out to Pam, his mother. Big up, Pam. Hopefully you're having a great day and hopefully we can get the result for you today. Oh, Sean, I hope that's not true about Fraser Forrester.
So do I. But all I'm saying is, there's one rumor and there's one fact. The fact is that Chelsea's odds have just jumped, Chelsea's odds have shortened, which means that they're a stronger favourite to win. And there's no other reason why that would happen other than an injury. So we'll find out. Right?
Yeah, we will find out. I mean, it's the last thing we need in that position. Ashmatic, we'll come to you, my man. I mean, look, we've got an absolute horrific record against Chelsea. I think it's 7 wins in 61 Premier League games. It extends for quite some time. Why is it we struggle against Chelsea?
It's just the golf and quality in that side. I think it's always been a mismatch, if I'm being totally honest, when it comes to Chelsea. They've always had that luxury of players that deadly in a really strong defense, really good midfield, player for player. They're really an elite team, and they have been for quite some years. And they've had that Abramovich money over a number of years just been dropped all over them, and we've got the Levy purse, a bit like tight jeans. So that's why it's always been an unfair mismatch in previous seasons. And like we said, it's like. When it comes, they haven't really got a rival in Fulham. So they come over to Tottenham and we fancy Tottenham, and they just turn up against us. So I think that's a big reason why it's been such a horrific mess against Chelsea. They always come and they always turn up against us. They really get up for it. Basically, all the London teams hate us, pretty much. And Chelsea are no different. They really, really get up for it. And so that's the reason why they love playing Tottenham. They love turn up against us, whether they're top of the league, whether they're bottom of the league. Our home record against them is abysmal, and so and I think it's in the fans' heads, it's in the players' heads more so. I remember Dele Alli coming out and saying, he doesn't like Arsenal, but Chelsea, they hate them because as players they had that rivalry, didn't they, against them at the bridge when we were going for it, when it was a 2-horse race between us and Leicester. And he said that he really doesn't like Chelsea. And I remember when Poch had to break the fight up and Dembele was getting, was gouging out eyes and it was getting a bit messy. Really loved that game. I really loved that game. But it was a love-hate game. We were 2-0 up. It was a good atmosphere. It was energy. We were really up for it. And then obviously we dropped it from then. Since then, it's just kind of escalated even more so. The rivalry against Chelsea, and every time they come here, we need to do and we need to stick it to them. Especially that record needs to go. The reason why there's records are to be broken. So I'm really happy that today is going to be that day that we break that record. But what I will say as well, in terms of today's game, is that they have a manager that doesn't know what they're doing. Potter does not know. Like normally, you see managers when they get new players, they bed them in slowly. Potter just starts them. What are you doing? He's just got a group of strangers and individuals and he just puts them on. He doesn't like Fernandez came in and Enzo came on his first game, couldn't speak a word of English, and he just started him. Mudryk the same. Their other Joao Felix, first day, they got him on low. They started him. Like, do you know what I mean? They've hardly had a training session together. Whereas top managers, you see them bed them in slowly, get them used to the culture, the identity, the style. Listen, Potter changes his tactics every single game. That's why you don't know what Chelsea are coming at you. And for me, that is a massive flaw in Chelsea's game. You got a bunch of new players that don't know each other, playing different systems and different tactics every single minute, let alone every single game. So that's going to be a cause of concern. Whereas we've got more stability, style, a bit more nouts. They've come off just playing Dortmund, so they would have changed their tactics for Dortmund, and then now they would have been changing their tactics again for Spurs, and they're going to have to switch it up again. So for me, like, I'm more confident with a manager like Potter. He doesn't know his strongest 11. So that's my take of it so far. Take of it what you will, but I'm putting a positive spin on it.
No, look, Potter's under serious pressure, you know, and it's kind of like, I'll be honest, I don't think a lot of that playing squad like him. I don't think a lot of them want them there, and hopefully that sort of replicates itself on the pitch. But Amir, I mean, you know, off the back of a clean sheet against West Ham, a good win in a London derby, you know, can we carry that form into today? And look, you know, is this game make or break for our season? Because it's the sort of game that you win today, it gives you great confidence. You go through the rest of the season with a bit of swag, a bit of confidence. But if you lose today, you could have a hangover in the FA Cup midweek. We're already under the pressure in the Champions League. So is this make or break for Tottenham today?
It's 100% make or break, and it's not whether can we carry the form over. We must carry the form over into this game. So for me, this our season swings on this one. We get a good performance and a good result out of this one. We go in confident to Sheffield. We get a result up there. We carry on. We carry on the good form in the Prem. Milan come to our place, and things look good. We get a bad result here and we lose. We go up to Sheffield nervous, tense. We've been beaten by lower opposition before in the FA Cup. The fans get on everyone's back. It's a very, very pivotal game this afternoon. And I'm with Asthmatic. I think that they're a wounded animal. They're there for the taking. We need to be ruthless. The way Mourinho said we need to be ruthless, the way we need to be killed, the way Conte said we need to be killers. They're a wounded animal, and I'm sorry for this. We need to go and finish the job because Chelsea are there for the taking. They're on terrible form. They just lost to Southampton at home. Potter, like you said, all over the place, doesn't know what he's doing. Just spent $500,000 and the team still doesn't look any better. Yeah, so let's just slay that dragon, put them to bed, send them back to Chelsea and their flowers and all that, and back crying so they can, have a bit of happiness with their smelly flowers and all that, and job done.
Yeah. Look, I hope we turn up today. That's my biggest worry. It's sort of this season we've been very inconsistent. You know, beat Man City, get hammered by Leicester. It's sort of been that sort of season for us. And today, you know, it's all about maybe trying to put in a run of consistent results, a run of consistent performances, but also stand up under pressure. You know, I don't think there should be as much pressure on these guys going into this game, considering where Chelsea are. I mean, they're closer to the relegation zone than they are of making top four. So for me, hopefully we can go out there and play with a bit of a freedom today. But Shawnee, I asked the question on my show and sort of started a bit of a reaction, which I didn't think was going to happen. But I was asking the question that do we need to come up with something else going forward? Because although Harry Kane's got 17 Premier League goals this season, he's got 2 in his last 5 there drying up. Sonny, you know, is having to drop a lot deeper to get onto the ball down to the halfway line in most games. Not his game. It's not what he's best at. I feel like we're sort of, and Kulu, teams are finding a way of nullifying Kulu. I feel like we have sort of been found out going forward. It's like as soon as Harry Kane gets the ball, double team him, take him out, foul him, and that stops Tottenham attacking. It allows us to get everyone back behind the ball. Do you think that's the case? Do you think teams have found this out? We need to find a new sort of way of unlocking the door going forward, or do you think I'm just making a mountain out of a molehill?
No, I think that you're definitely not making a mountain out of a molehill. I guess there's like three ways I'd like to kind of go about this. One I think is that referees haven't been giving Harry Kane the same protection that
100%.
he's been getting or he has got previously. You know, against Leicester, you had Faish and you had Harry Suter that were just all over him. And in previous games, when the ball does get pumped up from Foster or from Lloris or from Romero or Dyer or Longley, whoever it is, or Davies, into that channel, into that middle block, he usually has a way to draw the foul. If he gets there early enough, he can chest it down and then turn and draw the foul, which is often what he's trying to do anyway. So giving away the foul and letting them reset isn't necessarily a problem. If Perisic is on the pitch and it happens in a decent area, then you can make something of it. If Longley's on the pitch, you can make something of it. If those two aren't playing, then the benefit sometimes of having that foul isn't always there anyway, because we don't necessarily know what to do. And I remember, I think it was in a home game. I forget which game it was against. At one point, we did draw a foul in a dangerous area, and it was in like the 80th minute. And the play, I think it was Højbjerg that was standing over the ball, and you had Decky on the right-hand side. There's 3 or 4 people, smattering of people that were in the box. And the referee blew the whistle, and Højbjerg went to take it and then stopped, and then Sarr went to take it and stopped. And then eventually they just passed the ball out to Decky, and it was intercepted immediately. It didn't look like there was any process or structure or plan with what to do with the ball in that area when they didn't have the certain players on the pitch that would usually take those free kicks. So I think that there's a problem with going after the same result without the intended consequences being able to be affected or executed afterwards. I do think you need more protection. And as far as whether we're getting found out a little bit, well, I think that happens over time. Like, I think you do need to be a little bit more dynamic and unpredictable. I've said this all year, all season, all last season as well. I feel like if you're a team that sets up the same way, with generally the same squad, and you do generally the same thing week in, week out, you know, that is a luxury that's afforded only to teams and to managers who have the best squads in the league. And they think, well, if I execute my game plan with my set of players, I'm going to be able to do more and basically win the game. Teams like Tottenham and Conte, I feel like, have become pretty predictable. Teams like Klopp as well, as a manager that was able to do this last season, but this season his squad can't cope with it. So I do think that changing things up, keeping the opposition guessing, is a necessary variable, a necessary kind of influence that you need to bring to your game. And I would make the argument that there should be some changes happening up front, not necessarily or including, but not necessarily entirely just the starting 11. I know we're going to talk about this, whether it's Sonny today or Richarlison or Danjuma. I personally think that Richarlison does deserve a little bit more of a run in the game. I do think that he should be told, look, you're going to get 3 games, right? So don't have the pressure that if it doesn't work in the first 60 minutes, you're going to get hooked and then you've lost your chance, even if Sonny scores a hat-trick. I think that the experiment of Sonny coming off the bench has worked twice. And I think he's got a goal every 15 minutes this season when he's come off the bench. When he started the game, he's got a goal every 2,000 minutes. So wow. I don't think that Sonny should necessarily start the game, but I do think there should be more pivots, more switches. Whether Decky comes in short and receives the ball, let Harry Kane pull out onto the right hand side. If the opposition defenders are given the task of man marking Harry Kane when the ball's coming long, then don't put Harry Kane in the same position. Let him pivot out to the left or pivot out to the right and swap Decky in. Put Richarlison in. Richarlison can win a ball. I know his first touch isn't anything like as good as. I'll finish my point afterwards. Let's go through the starting 11, shall we?
No, I've got one more question to ask you off the back. So yeah, go ahead, Shawnee. Call out the lineup.
Okay. Well, look, yes. So, look, I mean, the lineup looks like what I was hoping for. So, Fraser Foster is in goal, which is a good thing. That's obviously brilliant news. He's not, so that risk isn't there. Romero, Dyer, and Longley in the back 3. Royale on the right. For me, that's a good thing. Who's on the left? Davies is on the left, wing back again, keeping his position. Højbjerg and Skip. It looks like exactly the same formation as it was against West Ham. Kulusevski, Richarlison, and Kane. I think that is right. It is as it was against West Ham. I think that makes the most sense for me personally. And like I say, to finish that point I was making about the front 3 being less predictable, I think you've got to find out and see what happens. If Chelsea come out and play their game and come after it and come after the ball, then maybe you can treat this game like you would against the Manchester City or an Arsenal, sit tight and try and counter. But if they do sit back and do what other smaller teams, lesser teams do against us, where they hang back and let us try and break them down, then if we figure out in the first 10, 15 minutes that Harry Kane is getting man-marked out of the game, then the obvious instruction from Stellini should be have a plan B to go to where there's a little bit more dynamism in the front three. All three of those players are capable of stepping into the middle. All three of those players are strong enough to be able to win the ball in the air and win the ball on the chest, and the other two can pivot and run off of it. If Kane is getting man-marked out of the game, tell Richarlison to step in for the next one. Tell Decky to step in and let the other two pivot on the side. Keep the defense guessing, and I think you'll have more success than we've seen against teams like Milan, where Simon Kjaer just dominated Harry Kane, and teams like Leicester, where Suter and Fayez dominated Harry Kane. Change it up, you might see different results.
Just quickly, Sean, as well, you mentioned about he is. Just quickly, Shawnee, you mentioned about teams very quick to pull us down when we're on the counter, very quick to pull Harry Kane down. Do you think they do that on purpose, knowing that because we're shit at free kicks, right? We're shit whether it's on the edge of the box, whether it's delivering the ball into the box. So are they doing it on purpose then, knowing that we're not good at free kicks?
Depends where the free kick is, right? Like if you get a free kick out in the Sonny area, if Sonny wins a free kick and you're in that kind of left-hand channel and you've got Perisic out there, then we've got 6 goals from set pieces on corner kicks from that left-hand side most of the time, and it's usually Perisic, but Perisic isn't in the team today, right? So you can't rely on him. So yeah, I think there is a logic. If you're a smart manager, you're going to be analysing Tottenham's tape all week ahead of the game if you have 7 days to prepare. And you're going to say, if Perisic is playing, then free kicks in and around the corners of the box or from the corners are more dangerous than if he's not. If he's not playing, you've got more of a liberal freedom to be able to kind of be a bit more aggressive, and then figure out early whether or not the referee is going to be a guy that lets the game play, or whether he's going to punish you. If he punishes you on the first one, then don't do it so much. If he lets the first one go and he sets that precedent, then you've got that kind of wiggle room to do it a bit more. And without someone who can take anything, any of the kind of the set pieces to the same level as Perisic can, which I don't think we have one there. I think the best person that you can look at on that team and think of who's going to whip the ball in, as crazy as it sounds, is probably Longley, right? I don't know. Yeah. Longlay's probably the best person on that pitch in order to take a wide corner, a wide set piece. But you wouldn't. Who would be taking it? Who would take the corners? Looking at that, who takes the corners today?
Maybe Kulusevski. Kulu. He did last time.
Takes it.
Yeah, okay. He did it last week. Yeah.
Okay.
So look, I definitely think it's a tactics opposition use against us, pulling us down, looking to give away free kicks. No, we're not good at them. But look, Amir, we'll go to you, my man. What's your thoughts on the starting lineup here? It's unchanged from the West Ham. Are you happy with it? Is there a change or two you would have made? What's your thoughts?
I said before the game that I might have stuck Sonny in since he's coming in hot, after his goal against West Ham. But I'm actually happy seeing Richie up there. And I do think that against Chelsea, the shithousery, the presence that Richie brings up there, pressing and being aggressive and fighting for every ball, I think that could come in very handy today. And he's due a good game. I would love it for Richie, love it if he could bang in a goal today, because it would just bring all the Spurs fans that are a little bit off with his signing, it will just bring them on side. If he has a great performance and a winning goal against Chelsea, welcome to Spurs, mate, and get more and more minutes and score more and more goals and assists. So I think that the lineup's good. It's all a question of whether we do the business up front and make sure that we don't make any serious mistakes at the back. I think if we can do those two things, we can get a result today. Can definitely get a result.
I think Dave's gone. Don't know where he's gone. He's come back.
Oh,
you back, Dave?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My computer, when I share in the things, my computer's not powerful enough.
That's such a strong looking team on paper, isn't it? Look at that.
Yeah.
But it's on paper.
For me,
It's on paper.
Yeah,
No, but you look at Sterling and you look at Ziyech. Ziyech scored against us before in the last home fixture, so he's always a worry. He's quite dangerous. He comes inside quite a lot. He's not your typical wide forward. And my thing is, a lot of people were scared of Chelsea down the sides because they've got Chilwell down the sides. You've got obviously you've got James down the sides. Then you've got normally typical your wide forwards. But when you look at Havertz as the false nine,
sorry,
he's box to box. Loftus-Cheek is box to box midfielder.
Box, okay,
yeah, but it will be alongside Fernandes. So it'll be like a 4-2-3-1. Basically, what they're gonna do is they're gonna tuck in a lot. The midfielders, you're gonna see Sterling out wide a lot, but you're gonna see Loftus-Cheek making a 2 with Enzo, and then one of the fullbacks might tuck in to make a midfield 3. And then sometimes you might see João Felix drop in that false 9 or Havertz playing the false 9. So they're going to dominate like almost like a box in the middle of the midfield. They're going to try and outnumber us like Aston Villa did like with 4 in midfield. And they did it against us, Brighton, with Potter before, and it worked. Where they had a midfield 4 and they just outnumbered us and just dominated our midfield. And what will happen is you'll see like the likes of Enzo on the ball. And when he tucks in, what he's going to do is try to find Felix. Felix is going to drop behind our 2 double pivots and they're going to get on our blind side and then they're going to pop up in little small pockets and receive the ball. And they're going to try and hurt us with Ziyech tucking in quite a bit. And then Reece James is going to make late runs because I've seen this before. Reece James will make a late run and come on the outside of Ziyech and try to cause problems that way. And so they're going to try and drag our players out of position. Sometimes they'll play small, short little balls, but sometimes they'll go long because Enzo Fernandez doesn't mind going long and trying to hit us. And they're going to see a lot of possession of the ball, I feel, in that lineup.
What worries me a lot is this is the sort of perfect lineup for them to, because obviously Kai Havertz is probably the weak link. I don't want to jinx it, but like their number, like their out and out number 9, whatever is probably the weakest part of that squad. They can't score goals, but they might have a lot of luck by taking pot shots from the edge of the box. If people like Eric Dyer and that step off and allow them to have the control of that kind of area, 22, 23, 24 yards out, with the man mountain that is Fraser Foster in goal. If they put some, if they can execute some shots from 23 yards that are hit with a little bit of zip and into the corner, whether Fraser Foster can get down to them will be interesting.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of that from Ziyech. You'll see a lot of that from Felix trying to shoot from distance. And Sterling will be busybody. He'll be coming inside a lot, trying to move in, trying to come in a half space, trying to find little pockets of space just to try to arrive in. Or sometimes at the back post when when James is threading across at the back post, you're going to see Sterling at the end of them, trying to create problems.
It's interesting to see Koulibaly back in the squad, though. Obviously, he scored that absolute worldie in the first leg back in late August, I think it was, or middle of August, from outside the area. Had a terrible season, really. Like, he's disappointed since then. But do you think is the reason why he's been brought in? Is it again to try and bully? He's the bully of the
he's very aggressive.
Very aggressive, very tall, very kind of powerful bloke. Yeah, probably going to try and bully Harry Kane in the air, right? Which is why I think that we do need to mix it up a little bit and see what happens, you know? I
think a good tactic would be that although like you'll see I did see what's his face switch wings, Kulusevski. I did see him in the first half go to the left wing, and Kulusevski is good at pulling wide a lot. So I wonder if he pulls wide, goes to the left, and then even Kane switching to the right sometimes just to switch it up, because he was doing those Hollywood balls into Richarlison in the first half. He did the nice diagonal, which Richarlison had a chance, but he just wasn't quick enough, and then he pulls it wide, and then the West Ham keeper makes the save. So I was wondering if that might happen if our front three are a little bit more interchangeable. We're not so predictable in being rigid, with Kane staying in at the top man and dropping into that hole in 9, and Koulibaly following him. I wonder if he pulls wide and switches to the right, if Koulibaly if he does follow him, then that's a lot of space for us to run into. Do you know what I mean? And Richarlison's really good.
Tactics, right? If
Chelsea, that's where Richarlison has to move in off the left, then, right? If Harry Kane drops deep to pick up the ball, Richarlison then needs to occupy the middle and get Ben Davies then heading down the left-hand side.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, because I did see in the West Ham game that I did see Kane pull off to the right-hand side. I did see him pull off and then do those diagonal balls to the right. So I'm just wondering if we apply that same tactic again with one of our wing forwards, either going through the middle or, like you said, Dave, Ben Davies arriving late, coming up, because that we have got that in us, that our wing backs arrive late or play a little bit central, like we did see with Emerson, coming in late and scoring, linking up with Ben Davies, scoring that goal. So I think we're not as rigid as some people say. We did see a bit of flexibility in that West Ham game, and I expect to see us a bit more. But I think Spurs are more successful when we press high and aggressive, try to win balls up quite early, and then we're outnumbering oppositions. We're catching them off guard. If we're aggressive and we push up and we get the fans behind us really from early, then we could see a turn of fortune, because Chelsea are really good in the first 30 minutes. After that, they're a bit toothless, and I think we need to deploy that tactic because we're really second half FC. So if we can.
They don't run a lot either, Chelsea. That's the biggest part of the problem, off the ball or on the ball. There's no real sort of willingness to move about. So hopefully today that might actually suit us. But I'll be honest, guys, I'm worried a bit about our left-hand side. Reece James up against Davies. I think Davies has the edge there with pace and strength. And also, I presume Sterling would probably be on that side. So, I'll be worried about him with Langley there as well. I think if Chelsea are going to get any joy, it would probably be down that side. Unless Højbjerg and Skip, we need a huge game from them today to block up that middle. The right-hand side will be blocked with Emerson and Romero. Hopefully now today we can sort of do the same on the left-hand side. I know Ben Davies kept Gerard Bowen very quiet last week, and he was West Ham's main creative player, main source of goals. Hopefully Ben Davies can put in that sort of performance again today. But guys, Richarlison starting again today. Now look, me personally, I think when I look at it, I think largely disappointed last week against West Ham. But what he did do is he pressed very, very well when we didn't have possession, which made West Ham pump an awful lot of long ball, which then we turned over to come back at them. But on the ball, largely disappointed again. I mean, we'll start with you on this, Amir, and work our way back around. But does Richarlison deserve to keep his place in the team today? What do you think the thinking is behind it?
I think it's what you're saying, if he presses high and we win the ball back from them just lofting silly balls into the midfield, that's going to benefit us, greatly, winning the ball up high and then getting the ball back to our attacking third. The question whether he deserves his place is it's a really tricky one to answer, because has he got enough minutes? No. Has he been played in his favourite position? No. Did he have a fantastic World Cup? Yes. Has he done it in the Prem? No. Can we blame him that he hasn't done it because he hasn't been given a full chance? Yes. So it's very, very difficult for me. The jury's still out on Richie. This game is a huge one for him. If he can prove his worth by banging in a goal, however it comes, whether it comes off his knee, his head, or whatever, that's going to do so much for his confidence and for the Spurs fans getting behind him. Is there quality there in the player? Sure, there is tons of quality, tons of good attributes. It's going to be very interesting to see really what Ashmatic was saying about Kane peeling off right and dropping a bit deeper. Can Richie then get into that position where he's in his favourite striking role, that number 9, and can we create for him? So it's a huge game for Richarlison, and I can only wish him all the best and really hope that he manages to nick a goal. And if not a goal, a nice assist would be nice, because we know he's capable of that too. He's capable of putting a beautiful ball for Kane, for Kulu, for whoever.
But Sean, this is the problem, right? Though, no assists, no goals in the Premier League. I mean, he's just not really contributing at all. And I know you had your reservations when we signed them. And I mean, does he deserve to start today? Could Perisic have been thrown in if he didn't want to use Son, or did Son deserve to be recalled after scoring?
No. Yeah. So look, this is not me hating on Sonny. This is not me loving on Richarlison either or, because I love Sonny. I was never a massive fan of Richarlison, but I think that Richarlison's season has been massively disrupted by injuries and and everything everything that Amir said about the playing out of position. I think if you're going to give a guy a chance, you have to give him a little bit of a run in the team, right? If he gets 60 minutes, he gets taken off, Son comes on, scores the goal, his head's going to be dropped. What I worry a little bit, though, is that there's going to be desperation. There's desperation from Sonny. When he comes on, everything that screams to me about him is that he's desperate to try and correct his season and end up making bad decisions that are counterintuitive. Like he takes the ball to his first touch, it always leads to a dribble. It becomes predictable. With Richarlison, I worry if the same thing will happen, where he is desperate to try and get on the score sheet because he wants to get that monkey off his back. To me, what I think is more important is the team effort. I think that there is a benefit. It's been tried and tested. Okay, the sample size is only 2, but he scored 4 goals, 1 every 15 minutes when he's come off the bench. So I think you've got a useful asset, a really useful asset. Is if you're still in the game with half an hour to go, you bring on Sonny. Hopefully he can, he's paying attention like Ole Solskjaer used to do, right? Watch the game, analyze, examine, see what's going on. Know that if I get my chance, I know I've already seen a weakness in what Chelsea are doing. Yeah. I also think that today is especially important because I think that there's the opportunity for shithousery. And I think that one of the ways that you might level the playing field in the talent on the team is to get a little bit spicy, like the battle of not the battle of the bridge, the one that we've seen the highlights from on Twitter when it got. I don't want it to get to that extent where you're just getting crazy because who knows what's going to happen. But I think that you do need to, when you've got a team, you're playing against a team of technical excellence, which is what Chelsea have as individuals. They're technically excellent footballers. You can reduce the bar. You can level the playing field a little bit by smashing 1 or 2 of them early doors, winding them up, getting them out of their comfort zone. You need the crowd on your side. You need players like QT Romero to lay in 1 early doors, get a smash on, and time it correctly. If he times it badly and gets a yellow card in the first 5 or 10 minutes, it's another nightmare. But you need him to be like aggressive, but with sense. And you need something similar from players like Richarlison, who are very happy to do that. Players like Heung-min Son, brilliant players, love him, no criticism of him for this aspect of his personality, but he's not that kind of player. He's meek. You're never going to see Sonny go in and smash somebody. It's not his game, right? It's just not his style. And I think that in a game like today, you need, even if things are going badly, if it's a boring 0-0 or you're 1-0 down, it can take a massive moment. It doesn't have to be a goal or a penalty or something like that. It could just be Richarlison absolutely laying into Reece James or Chilwell or whoever it might be, right? Smashing him, doing something that winds him up, get the crowd back in your favor. Momentum shifts can happen in more ways than just goals being scored or conceded. And I think that someone like Richarlison today is pivotal. Even if he doesn't get the goal or the assist, he can still play a very vital contribution into what we need today. And so in summary, I think it's the right call to give him minutes. I still think that after 60 minutes, depending on the circumstance, you probably give Sonny the chance to come on and do what he's doing. But I don't think Danjuma necessarily needs to start. I think that Richarlison's the right guy to start, and let's see how he does today. If things go well, great. If things go badly, and he has another bad game, and Sonny comes off the bench and scores, or even if he doesn't, if Richarlison doesn't take the opportunity to have a good game in the first hour, then maybe the conversation can be had next week. I personally would probably still give him a 3rd game in the team, but we'll see what happens.
Interesting. I wasn't expecting that answer from you. Very, very, very good analysis there, Sean. I mean, Ashmatic, my man, where are you at with it? Are you one that thinks Son should have came in and be rewarded for answering the call off the bench last week?
Yeah, I'm just going to echo. Basically, I think I watched a lot of Richarlison at Watford. I wanted him from Watford, to be fair. I liked his pace. I liked his power. I liked his directness. I saw him at... He played at the left foot. Yeah, he did. He did play on the left at Watford. He was like more of a wing forward at Watford. And then Everton at large amounts of times when DCL, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, was up top, he was actually on the left. So he can play the left. And even at the World Cup, when he did play up front, I don't think, Spurs fans got excited because they were like, right, that's his position. He's a striker. That's where he is. But I don't think a lot of people are putting enough respect on Richarlison's name in terms of his technique and his actual footballing ability. He just needs rhythm. He needs rhythm. Whether he delivers in this game is left to be desired. Who knows? Whether we see it today, we don't know. But what I will say is, in the last game against West Ham, he was in the mix. I do think that was a penalty when he was causing havoc.
By
And
the
then
way,
he was the reason.
referee today as well. He better give a penalty if it's on.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was the reason why that penalty was caused, because he was in the mix. He was causing trouble in that midfield. It's about, if you watch that game closely, two players was on Richarlison. They played really deep, and when you haven't got a lot of space to run in behind, it's really hard to kind of impact the game. Now, albeit Chelsea can have a lot of ball, a lot of possession. They might push up our pitch a lot, so we might have a lot more space in behind. And people think that would suit Son more. Richarlison's equally as good with his space in behind. Whether he gets his first touch on lock is a different question. Son's first touch at times can be suspectable, but sometimes, like when you saw when he came on, his first touch was excellent, and that was the difference in that West Ham game. So I'm just seeing if Richarlison can get his first touch under, and he can get that rhythm, because as a footballer, you need a number amount of games. You need a few games to get your rhythm, and I just feel like even if he doesn't score, I think it is the right call for him to get another game underneath his boots, get mud underneath his boots, just get in that rhythm. And the more of our players that start to play, even Danjuma, I hope Danjuma comes on and gets like 10 or 15 minutes. It's all about squad rotation at the end of the day, because Sonny can start against Sheffield and then he might score, or vice versa. Richarlison could come on or Danjuma might start. Who knows? Do you know what I'm saying? But I just want as many players having as many games as possible, so then when they're asked upon, they can deliver. And at the end of the day, I'm Team Tottenham. So whoever starts up top, I want us to deliver. Yeah. And then I saw that in the second half against West Ham, before Richarlison before he was taken off, he had a chance as well, where Kulusevski had the ball and he's pulled it back. And everyone thought, oh, why has he pulled it back? And Richarlison arrived late at the edge of the box and he had a shot. It was straight at the keeper. I just thought that was he didn't quite get the connection that he should have got. But I just like the fact that he's arriving late and he's getting chances and he's not like just trying to run in behind, because you can see that Kane's further up top trying to get to the penalty spot. He thought, like, let me peel off and get a chance at that. So I said there's a little bit of football IQ. But I like to see Richarlison use his head, because he's very good in the air. He's very dangerous in the air. So if we can whip crosses, fast-paced crosses, not like hanging crosses, like I know Perisic likes to hang across. If we can whip a ball in, Richarlison is very deadly. And I remember he got a decent assist I can think it was against Nottingham Forest. Remember that game where he was doing kick-ups and he was being a bit cheeky? When he did that cross outside of his boot, I think it was Son that scored. That's the Richarlison I want to see. Like,
but the problem with that though, Ashmatic, right? Like, I completely agree with what you're saying. Like, if the guy's one of his best assets is strength in the air, and you want to see balls being whipped in, in open play, not from set pieces where the defense have got a chance to restructure. Yeah. If he's coming off the left, the person who's most likely to whip those balls in is going to be, in all likelihood, or more likely, or Emerson, right? And
no, because what Emerson will do, because Emerson knows he can't cross, he will what he does, he normally gets in that position and then he passes it back to Kulu, and then Kulu either cuts in and shoots, or then Kulu crosses in. That's normally the tactical play. But I know what you're saying. Like, if that's going to happen, I do identify that. So, I mean, Emerson is on that side.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe there's a scenario. Like, I'm a massive. I've said it a million. I'll keep banging the drum. I'm a massive advocate for dynamism. I'd love it. I love seeing in moments when Sonny pivots to the right hand side. The guy when Sonny does play, he's got 2 feet. His left foot is just as good as his right foot. Why don't we see him pivot to the right more? Why don't we see Decky on the left? Or in situations where you've got Richarlison on and Decky, why not switch them over for a moment?
And I'll echo that. I'm hoping for free fluid. For me, the front three have to be fluid. They can't be. If they stay static and they stay like it's easy to mark, the game plan's done. You just throw like a net over them, and we're out of the game. We have to. Like I said, in West Ham, I did see Kulu venture over to the left, and then he was using his left foot to cross balls in. So I thought that was interesting. And I saw Kane again drift off to the right and do Hollywood balls diagonal.
You have Decky on the left whipping the ball in with his strongest foot, and you have Richarlison at the back post coming in with a late header. There's an option there that just is never utilised, or it's been utilised once. I mean, like you say, once against West Ham. I could count on the fingers of one hand the amount of times I've seen Sonny on the right this season, let alone Decky on the left. I've never seen. I don't even remember Decky on the left against West Ham, but I'll take your word for it. So
the thing is as well, last season I counted the goals. and it was like a 50-50 split where Son came from the left and then Son came from the right, and he ended up central, and he scored with his left foot and his right foot. It was almost 50-50 split. And so this season we've seen him stuck on the left, and I would like to see him drift off to the right, because when he did score his goals against Leicester, guess what? It was on the right. When he did score against Preston, guess what? Where it was from? It was from the right. So we do need to see Sonny peel off to the right sometimes, because he does get some of his best chances from that side and keeps players guessing. You as a defender,
especially Ashmatic, if Perisic comes back into the team.
Yes.
Especially when Perisic is there.
Yes.
Because there is that stat, and I've been saying this since September, that I've always thought that Tottenham have a skewed system that allows for the defence to overbalance to the right, to their right-hand side down our left. And there's too much of an erosion of space between Perisic running down, Sonny not having the space to do what he does. When Perisic is on the pitch, it makes no sense to continually have him on the left-hand side. Allow him to swap places with Decky. Decky is not going to be useless. Decky is more than capable about doing something decent with his left foot, but Sonny can be used more with more versatility than he has been. And that's another thing, another reason why I get frustrated with Conte, because I think the tactics are rigid and predictable.
I did see with Ten Hag, I spoke about this, where I saw him use what's it called? What's their striker? Rashford. So Rashford was playing quite central, and they figured it out. They're like, oh yeah, Rashford's going to play central. And then what Ten Hag did, he said, pull out wide, get on one-on-ones, then come inside and then shoot. And I feel like if Son adapts that same philosophy, where he has been playing central a lot this season, sometimes pull out wide, get on a one-on-one, and then come on onto your right and have a shot, you might have more success, because sometimes when you're too central, they figure that out. Do you know what I'm saying? So sometimes mix it up. Sometimes be on the right, sometimes too central, sometimes pull wide, go on have a one-on-one. You just basically, as a striker, you want to have a one-on-one, you want to run at players, and then you can beat your player and then have a shot, and then it leads to maybe not even a goal. It might lead to deflection, or someone might get into the end of it and score a goal, like Richarlison or King might just get a tap in. Do you know what I mean? So you need that kind of like mixing up, and that needs to happen in game time as well. I have a little chat. So if Son comes on, we just need to see that little mix up.
100%. 100%
for sure.
But yeah, going into the midfield now. Actually, no, looking at their defense, that's what I worry about sometimes, because when it comes to set pieces, this is something where we need to focus on our concentration. They hurt us a lot when it came to set pieces. When it comes to corners or free kicks, you'll see like the likes of a Koulibaly stepping up, or you'll see like Silva coming in deadly with the headers. And I feel like Eric Dyer needs to be focused. He's one of our better players in the air. We need Emerson as well, switched on in the air. They need to be literally at it when it comes to corners. And even Harry Kane, dare I say it, he needs to be as well. Like defensively, he's quite good in the air, and Ben Davies as well. So really, they need to be ready for these set pieces, because that's where I worry at when Chelsea have the ball. They're quite deadly.
Yeah, for sure, especially with Koulibaly or Thiago Silva attacking them if they get the chance. Good discussion there, boys. I actually really enjoyed that about Richie and Son. But look, we are coming to an end, so we'll go with Amir. Amir, first of all, I want to know how you think Tottenham should approach this game. Should we go and look to press Chelsea high, or should we look to maybe implement what Southampton done against them last week, sit in and look to counter? And what's your score prediction, my man?
We got to press them high, David. We got to go after this. They're a wounded animal. We need to go out, get an early goal. Just go after them. You know what I mean? Just literally get at them, bully them, harass them, get Richie to just absolutely terrorize them. Kulu get back to assisting. Whether it's Kane, whether it's Richie who gets on the goal sheet, whether it's Royale getting another beauty, I don't care. We just need to go after them, break the hoodoo, break the curse. No more, this worry about going to Chelsea. Get the monkey off our back with regards to that. Get Potter the sack and let that be that. And having said all of that, I'm really, really hoping for a 2-0 victory. Another clean sheet for me as well. It comes down to the consistency and building that consistency. That's only going to help our defense going into Sheffield. It's only going to build that confidence. So if we can nick a little 2-0 win, I'm going to be dancing around in the living room, honestly. It'll be embarrassing. It will be embarrassing. I can tell you that, but I will be going absolutely.
Get some clips. Get some clips ready for the next week's show.
And Amir,
Steady on, Shawnee. Steady on with your clips.
Amir, where can people find you, my man?
You can find me over at Israel Uncovered. I'm doing the tour guiding thing over here in Israel, showing people around the country. I want people to, you know, be able to see what it's like over here, apart from the stuff that you see in the media, what the nature's like, what the people are like over here. So please hop on over. It really does help me personally. And honestly, I love sharing my country with people. So, you know, if you get a chance just to have a look, that would be fantastic. And yeah, just wishing everyone a happy Derby day, and let's hope we do the business. Let's hope we do the business today, lads. Come on.
I hope so. I hope so. Everybody, Amir's link is here. Just click on it, get over and smash the subscribe button. Shawnee, same question to you, my man. What way do you want to see Tottenham approach this game, and what's your score prediction, and where can people find you, brother?
But I want to see us. I want to see us confident. I want to see us front foot. But listen, I think you have to. Like on this particular one, I just don't know what sort of Chelsea are going to turn up. And if it's the Chelsea that we've seen recently that are nervous, then I think, and you'll know that in the first 5-10 minutes, right? I take that point that you guys were saying earlier that Chelsea are full of effort in the first 30. After that, they fade. If that's the case, then play patient, right? Like you know, maybe sit back. If they do want to get on the ball and come for it, I think that one of the easiest ways for Tottenham to get that lead is to break quick down the left-hand side, down the right-hand side, and get someone to whip in. If, however, they are nervous Nellies, if they are, poor and they're working as individuals, there's no chemistry, then I want Tottenham to get on the front foot, get aggressive and go for it. I want to see a massive smash in the first 5 or 10 minutes. I want to see it well-timed. I want to see it controlled aggression from somebody. I want to see a little bit. I want us to level the playing field, like I said, by getting the emotions and the energy up in the game. And then if you do that, technical players somewhat forget about the technicalities and start to get drawn into the madness. And I'd be happy to see that today. Personally, listen, I think that I do think we'll probably concede a goal, because I think that for all the reasons that were spoken about earlier, the way that Chelsea was set up, they're probably going to have lots of opportunities to crack pot shots from 25 yards. I worry a little bit about big man's ability to get down. Someone mentioned in the comments earlier, if he starts his dive now, he might just about make the shot in the 33rd minute, which is hilarious. But I'm going to go for 2-1 Tottenham, and I think it's going to be I think Harry Kane's going to get one, and I'm actually going to go for Decky today. I think Decky's going to step up and be a big part of today's performance.
Come on, Decky. I want to see him get back there. Hopefully, Shawnee. Hopefully, you're right. I'd love to see him get back there.
Because it's been a while for him, hasn't it, since he's got on the score sheet. Yeah. And I think he's probably going to be more pivotal to us in the second half of the season than Richarlison will. As much as I'd love to see Richarlison get a goal, I think I'd probably rather see it from Decky to get him back in the game, because when he plays well, Tottenham play well. And as far as where you can find me at the Spurs Talk Show, guys. Get yourself over there. I'm on the march now to 6K, and you can. I pull out a video every day and talk about whatever's going on with the world of Tottenham. Usually sticking to a lot of the time I stick to things that are more kind of top end stuff, like corporate and financial things and bigger picture stuff. But if you're interested in that thing, then go over there and hit the subscribe button. I appreciate you all. Love you all. Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, love it. Everybody get over, check out Shawnee's channel. Link is here in the description. Just click on it, get over, and smash that subscribe button. He makes the likes of finances and stuff like that, for someone like me who's a bit of a dumbass, a lot easier to understand. So it's definitely worth checking out. And last but not least, Ashmatic, my man, what way do you want to see Tottenham approach this game today? What's your score prediction, and where can people find you, brother?
Yeah, find me on the shows like this. Literally, I think 2-1, hopefully 2-1, quick one. And I agree with Sean. If we just bit patient, put players behind the ball. I know it's not the most exciting style of football, but I just feel like just literally weigh it out. And then as they get a bit tired, then we go a bit more aggressive. We push up the pitch a bit more, be a bit more front-footed. And then like the holes will start opening up, and we'll nick a win. We'll nick a win. It won't be easy, but I trust in the boys, and I do want to see, like Sean said, Kulu. I want Kulu to have a big performance. So if he does well, then it kind of like translates into the rest of the season, because he was the difference last season. We need our front three, all of our front threes to be firing. So, and hopefully Son can come on again as well and do the business again. So hopefully it does. It's not a one-trick pony, and it does work again. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
it.
Look, so and by the way, if anyone's looking for a DJ for their parties, get a hold of Ashmatic. I seen the video.
Oh, that Instagram video sitting there, 90s remix. It was superb.
Thank you. Yeah, all weddings and birthdays and baby showers, I'm available.
Nice. I love it. Nice. I love it. Look, for me, guys, I'm gonna go 2-1 Tottenham today. Look, I'm well aware it's Chelsea. I think when I look at the players he's called in, Raheem Sterling back in there, Aubameyang back on the bench, sort of players that traditionally score against Tottenham. And it's Chelsea, anything can happen in these games. But I am going to go with Tottenham with a win today. I'll never predict anything else because I always expect the best from Spurs. I'm going to go Harry Kane with a brace today. Hopefully, I'll be honest, I don't really care who finds the back of the net as long as we win the game. You guys can find me over.
Did you say two? Sorry, mate. Before you plug, did you say 2-1?
2-1.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to put a bet on that. Then we'll talk about the betting, the good odds on the next show on your channel in 5 minutes time.
100%. Yeah, I did. Do you know what, Shawnee? Actually, just quickly, my man, you'd be sick for me. I had a 50-cent accumulator on yesterday, and I had the championship teams in it, right?
Yeah.
And what was it? 5 or 6 of my results came in, and I had Reading and Blackpool under 3.5 goals. Reading were winning 3-0. Blackpool scored 90 plus 4th minute, last kick of the game, lost the bet. I was absolutely raging.
How much would you have won?
70 quid off 50 cent.
140 to 1. 140 to 1.
I was sick, man. I was sick. And then Real Madrid let me down last night on another bet as well. I had a bad day yesterday at the office. Bad day. And everybody, don't worry, I don't have gambling problems. I'm tight. I put 50 cent on my accumulators. But guys, we are going to leave it there. We're going to get off this so that the watch along can get going. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Where can people find you? Sorry, I interrupted you. Plug.
Yeah, guys, you can find me over at the Irish Hotspur if you like to hear what I have to say, or if you like me. Even if you don't like me, smash the subscribe anyway. I'm a Spurs fan just like you all, passionate just like you all as well. So, guys, thank you to Ashmatic, Sean, and Amir for today. Thank you to all you guys for tuning in. And hopefully we'll be speaking after the game with a nice 3 points in the bag. Let's go beat Chelsea. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Let's go.